After years of failed contract negotiations, American Airlines pilots voted to authorize a strike. Today's informational pickets, not a strike, took place at 10 airports across the country, including DFW International Airport. But pilots for the Fort Worth-based carrier aren't walking off the job. First, federal mediators will be brought in to try to negotiate a deal with the union. Fox 4's Alex Boyer, live at the big airport. Alex.
Hi, Steve. You know, with this vote, basically what the union is doing is putting additional pressure on American Airlines to go back to the negotiation table and come up with a new contract agreement, and soon. You know, I talked to a retired American Airlines pilot who was a captain in 1997 when pilots walked off the job briefly. He gives us some perspective and insight into the process. Off-duty American Airlines pilots stood shoulder to shoulder outside Terminal C at DFW Airport Monday.
The line that you see behind me, that is a visual expression of the frustration of our pilots and how long it's taken to get us to the point where we're at right now.
The Allied Pilots Association, which represents 15,000 American Airlines pilots, announced that its membership voted overwhelmingly in favor of authorizing a strike. The union has been in negotiations with the company for a new contract since 2019.
This is a step in a process. The direct negotiations, which is what we're doing, that is where we're currently at. Now, if for some reason that stalls out, we go to the next step. That would be mediation.
Clear to land, American 21.
Federal mediators would step in. If that fails and either party chooses not to go to arbitration, the National Mediation Board could release the union from negotiations, and after a 30-day so-called cooling-off period, the pilots could be allowed to walk off the job. Those are very deliberate steps for a profession that is considered critical to the economy.
And once we get a contract, obviously there is no need to strike.
At the time, we had the same cohesive group of pilots.
Chris Mano is a retired American Airlines captain. He was a member of the union back in 1997 when pilots went through with a strike after all other steps in the process failed.
And within a half hour, then President Bill Clinton ordered us back to work, effectively taking away the labor union's ability to strike. Yeah. So we had to go back into mediation and finally work out an agreement after even more time.
The union says pilot scheduling and pay continue to be sticking points. American Airlines CEO Robert Isom has said pilot pay would be boosted by $8 billion over 4 years under a new contract proposed by the Fort Worth-based carrier.
He's doing it to the public to say, look at what I'm offering, but he has yet to open the checkbook and sit down at the table and say, here's your new pay rates.
A passenger we spoke with hopes the two sides can reach an agreement soon.
I just think that this is a clear display that these people have some things to say and should be listened to. They're a vital part of how we all travel and the safety of what's happening in the skies.
And again, so no one is walking off the job at this point. Negotiations will continue, but this strike vote authorization is a big step forward in what is, of course, a lengthy process that continues to play out. Steve.
All right, Alex Boyer at the big airport, DFW. Thanks, Alex.